Welcome to the part 3 of our free stock market investment seminar webinar. At nandito na tayo sa part ng disadvantages. So with regard to disadvantages of investing in the stock market, here are the following. Unang-una sa listahan, mataas ang risk involved when investing in the stock market. Again, the stock market is very volatile kasi nga when a news update, a degrading one, a negative news regarding a business or a stock, a public company, it can eradicate billions of dollars sa company. Like, for example, I will give you a good example. Like Elon Musk, when he tweets something about Tesla, the stock price of Tesla is likewise changing. When news about Tesla, yung crashes ng Tesla cars, it also affect the stock price of Tesla. Another example is with regard to so what do I mean? Talagang volatile yung price niya and no one can predict what will happen next to the prices unless you've done your job in analyzing the fundamentals of the company and you take into consideration the management that leads the company, then talagang magiging tiwala ka, kampante ka that in the long run, the company will be a market leader in the industry that it's operating. Like Meralco, now it's a market giant and a recurring dividend provider sa stock investors. Kasi utility siya and at the same time, palagi siyang nagbibigay ng dividendo sa kanyang mga investors. Through time, you become a market leader in the industry that everybody recognizes you as the market leader and mahirapan na silang patumbahin yung company and you become the leader. Another example is that remember when the franchise of ABS-CBN was shut down by Congress? So the stock price of the ABS-CBN plummeted rock bottom. Bumagsak siya talaga. In contrast, yung kalaban niyang network which is the GMA skyrocket in price. So ganon ang stock market. Mabilis ang change in the price that can affect your investment. That's why it's very risky and never put money that is for emergency na i-invest mo sa stock market. It's not a good idea. It's not even a good idea to borrow money to invest in the stock market because you can really tell whether you will earn or not unless you are a good trader and you know how to recharge. But nevertheless, learning the art of investing in the stock market is a good way to start and increase your knowledge sa personal finance in order for you to retire with money by the time you retire. So another disadvantage is that no one will push you to continue to invest when the opportunity presents itself because ikaw nga lang ang nagmamanage ng pondo mo. You are not hiring any financial advisor to do that in your behalf. Kaya you cannot monitor the market every time. But it only takes a minute or so to monitor the markets. But in the case of stock market investing, dahil nga ikaw lang ang nagmamanage ng account mo, then the tendency is you tend to miss the opportunities that the market present. Kung meron ka sanang advisor to guide you, then yun ang maganda. You can capitalize on the opportunities. Anong tinutukoy kong opportunities? Remember the March 2020 decline ng PSEI? That's the best opportunity sa ating lifetime to have entered the markets. Yet, konti lang ang nakapasok at konti lang ang may alam ng stock market. Another disadvantage is failure to decipher when to cut losses. Ayan ang problema sa mga newbies, mga new investors is that they tend to be clingy to their investment, no, being too attached sa kanilang investment. Nag-lose na ng value ng about 50%, they are still holding on. Well, sa bagay, if you truly trust the business, if you did the analysis part, the fundamental analysis, the technical analysis, I can associate it as a building a house. Kapag nabagyo yung bahay mo, you don't sell immediately the house, you repair it. Tapalan mo yung mga butas, lagyan mo ng bulkasil. If natanggal yung yero, palitan mo yung yero. Ganon din sa investment sa stock market. If that happens, kapag bumaba yung presyo, you add up. You add up to your investment. Kung tiwala ka sa business na binili mo. If tiwala ka sa Jollibee, dapat bumili ka nung March 2021 nung 95 pesos per share siya. At ngayon, 240 per share na siya to 220. See, it's not always cutting losses. May tinatawag na peso cost averaging. It's up to your principle, it's up to your policy as to kung anong dapat mong gawin. But the most important thing is you do the analysis, you do the fundamental, you do the technical, and the rest will follow. So let me present to you the graph of the PSEI from 1986 up to Duterte's time in 2016. Ganito kasi yan. When you enter the markets noong 1986, probably different ang rates of return ng mga yan. So the best time to invest is dun sa pinaka-bottom ng every cycle. Kasi it's a cycle eh. It's a cycle of ups and down. You have to time the market. When is the best time to buy? It is when the market is at its lowest. So check na tong mga graph guys. And ipapakita ko sa inyo yung rate of return for every financial crisis na nagdaan. So kung nung 1986, ang PSEI lang ay 1,000 level. In 30 years time, let's say for example, you invested in 1986. Ang index that time, sa index ka nag-invest, ang index that time is 1,000 level. Pero nung 2016, naging 7,500 level na siya. In 30 years, your investment earned 6.95%. Quite decent, but not enough. Pero kung nung 2004 ka nag-invest, look at the 2004 graph. 2004, this is 2004. After the 1997 financial crisis, nag-bottom siya. Nakita nyo yan, 1997 financial crisis. This is the 1997 financial crisis. Recovery, however, nag-decline ulit. If you buy at this point in time, 2004, the bottom of the crisis nag-subside. If you bought in that level and you hold that investment until the time of Duterte, it would have given you a return of 18.28%. Kung yung ininvest na pera mo is 100,000, it is now 750,000. Katumbas niya yung ininvest nung 1986 na 30 years na holding period. Ito, shorter period pa, 12 years lang. 12 years, 18% return. You see, the lesson here is that you should learn how to time the market. Buy at the best possible period, which is the bottom. Yung rock bottom, tandaan yung rock bottom, and you sell at the highest possible. Ayun, dun ka kikita. So you have to learn how to read technical charts para ma-apply mo yan na ma-maximize yung income mo out of that. So this is another example. Si Warren Buffett started investing at age 11. He earned his first billion nung 54 na siya. At 85, someone asked, at 85, he has now accumulated 66 billion. When asked about his greatest regret in investing, he answered, he started very late. Ibig sabihin, very late pa yung age 11. Sana nag-invest siya at age 7. Kasi that difference of a few years means billions of pesos in increment sa kanyang investment na 66 billion sana. Ito yung company ni Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway Stock, 1990. So you see, nung 1995, around 25 per share lang siya, 25,000 per share, less than 25,000 per share. But now, look at it now. It's a mammoth growth with 248 or $40 per share. Per share. That's how pricey this stock. Because itong company ni Warren Buffett doesn't give dividends away to investors. He believes in keeping the dividends para lumaki yung kanyang company. Another example is Ayala Corporation. Let's see this graph. Ito yung kanyang current graph. From 1,100 na peak niya nung sometime 2017, it went down to as low as 417, 215 per share. Diba? Video as well. It went from as high as 170 and down to 94 per share. Those are buying positions. Ngayon, nakabawi na ng mga yan. The last time I checked video, nasa around 120 per share na siya. Pero look at that span of time. 160 down to 75 in a span of less than 1 month. That's how risky investing in the stock market is. However, the return likewise high kasi if you invested and you buy BDO at 70 pesos, 75, ngayon 120 na siya, then the upside is a gain for the investor. It's a double-edged sword that can be beneficial or not beneficial to the investor depending kung gaano ka kagaling as investor. So if I were you, you have to study technical analysis as well as the fundamental analysis so that you will learn when to enter the market and exit the market. Ito rin. This is Golden Heaven before. Ngayon, Golden Bria na siya. This is a company of Manny Villar. Golden Heaven. Nag-merge siya sa kanyang real estate. Hence, from dating 17, it went up, it shoot up, naging 400 pesos per share. Imagine, madaming naging bilyonaryo dyan. In a matter of days ito, nag-shoot up yung price. It's amazing. You can earn millions in an instant with stock market. Ito yung nabanggit ko kanina. Talking about double dragon. See the graph. Dumami ang nag-demand sa stock price niya, hence tumaas yung stock price. Madaming dumili hanggang nag-peak, nag-burst yung bubble mid-2016 and then nag-decline na siya at patuloy na na-decline. Yung nabili ng ibang investor at 80 pesos per share is now worth 16 per share. Hindi palaging pataas ang stock market, minsan ang stocks, I should say, minsan pababa din. It all depends upon the company that you buy. Dito, nag-aagawan yung investors to buy in when the stock price is going up. So remember yung principle ni Warren Buffett. Be careful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. So, dapat dito na madaming greedy na investor, dapat dyan ka na natakot na pumasok. Huwag ka munang papasok. And when the time comes na hindi na greedy ang mga tao at nagde-decline na yung stock price niya, that is the best time to enter the market. Well, I'm not saying that you should enter DD. You should analyze first the fundamental and the technical analysis prior to entering that market. Let's proceed. So the summary of principles I discussed with you should always consider inflation in your investment kasi nga inflation diminishes the value of your money. Yung dating isang cart na napupuno mo nung bumibili ka nung 1990s, now lumiit na yung laman kasi nga of inflation. So better invest your money in the best performing asset that you know. Huwag mo lang iwan siya sa ilalim ng kama mo. Number 2 lesson is to stock market entry is important to maximize return. Remember yung entry, no, kung nagpumasok ka nung 2004 sa stock market, you earned 18% return in 12 years. Kaya entry is very important. Yung entry nung March 2020 is the best entry sana. Masama mang isipin na kumita tayo sa pandemic, but it is what it is. You could have earned your first million nung nag-invest ka nung March 2020. Number 3, if your purpose is long-term investing, never mind the short-term volatility of your investment. Yearly calibration is recommended to maximize your profit. Yes, correct. Short-term volatility, you should ignore that when your purpose is long-term. When your purpose is retirement, never mind the short-term volatility. What you should focus on is the discipline to invest on a regular basis sa iyong account. You implement the peso cost averaging para at the time you retire, you have enjoyed the compounding power of money and you will end up with millions of pesos. The next lesson is to start investing at the earliest possible time. Since na-miss mo na yung ibang opportunity years before at ngayon ka lang natuto mag-stock market, I will repeat, the best time to invest is now. Invest ka na ngayon. However, caveat, you have to learn first the principles of fundamental analysis and the technical analysis. So to learn more about these principles, you should subscribe to my channel because I will be sharing it with you. And then exponential growth of investment will come at year 20 to 30 years after investing. Ayan naman ay based sa ating computation. Exponential growth meaning biglang bulusok pataas ng investment mo. It occurs at the year 20th and 30th or 30th ng investment life ng investment mo. So we move on to the next part of the topic. So ito yung ating PSE. GDP is constantly growing, currently ranked number 37 world economies. Only shows that no reason to panic kasi kayang mag-recover ng Philippines. True enough, this year 2022, almost balik na siya sa level ng pre-pandemic. Ibig sabihin na kaya ng Pilipinas, despite of the billions, trillions of loans for COVID-19 by the government, kaya pa rin mag-recover ng Philippines. Primarily because we have a lot of OFWs who provide dollars sa country. Pasalamat tayo sa kanila at Pilipinas ay nakaka-afloat because of their remittances. Thank you, our OFW brothers and sisters. So this is the next part of the program. Paano ka ngayon kikita at makakapasok sa stock market? Here are the means and ways on how you can invest in the Philippine stock market. Una, you can invest via buying individual corporations, meaning bilhin mo yung stock ng PLDT, bilhin mo yung stock ng BDO, bilhin mo yung stock ng SM, individual basis. Okay? The other means is to buy it through mutual funds. Yung ginagamit ko pong platform ngayon is called Call Financials. So it is an online platform where you can buy individual companies or invest in mutual funds. So yun, it's a good platform because you are the manager of your own account. You don't need somebody else to trade in your behalf. Pero you will only need to find time para aralin how the market works. But it's something that you can learn. Even if you are not an accountant, you can do it by yourself. Aside from mutual fund, you can invest in the stock market through buying exchange traded fund. Currently, as mentioned, the only ETF in the country is the First Metro ETF. It mimics the performance of the PSEI. Another method where you can invest sa stock market is through UITF or the Unit Investment Trust Fund. Its difference sa mutual fund is that yung UITF is managed by the banks while the mutual funds are registered with the mutual funds are registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Lastly, the last modality in order for you to invest in the stock market is through buying variable unit linked insurances, which I consider as the best investment platform if you don't have or you are not willing to learn you don't want to learn and you don't want to incur losses with regard to trading. The best platform for you is VUL Insurance because the underlying asset niyan ay stock market din. I will discuss more about VUL Insurance in later in this video. So again, to reiterate personal finance, it talks about how an individual manages his money. So masyado na mahaba tong video. I will cut it here and balik kayo sa part 4 ng ating webinar. Thank you.